Hello, hello, Docker extensions. They're here. Are you as excited as we are? We're pretty pumped about the new extensibility framework within Docker Desktop. We're going to show you an extension today. My name is Lee Calcote. I'm the founder and CEO of Layer 5.
And I'm Churichi. I'm a software engineer at the HPE Security Engineering.
Both Maxi and I focus full-time on open source projects. Our open source projects have much to do with service meshes. There are a lot of service meshes, by the way. Because we spend time in and around service meshes, we spend time with Kubernetes, which means we're running Docker Desktop day in and day out. Docker Desktop is a staple of my daily routine, and I know the same is true for Maxi. As a matter of fact, if I have my number correct, I think it's a staple for about 15 million of you. So we couldn't have been more excited as extensions in Docker Desktop have come forth. We end up using the Kubernetes integration quite a bit. And as more of you do as well, and more of you are writing cloud native applications, you'll find and are finding that service meshes are becoming a standard layer in your cloud native stack. Service meshes have a lot to do with the focus of the projects that we're on. Let's talk about those projects. So the first one here is Meshery. Meshery is a cloud native management plane. So it is a cloud native manager. It does lifecycle and performance management of 10 different service meshes. More than that, it helps you with configuration management of Kubernetes. And with the extension that we're talking about today, it also does the same for your Docker Compose applications. It helps you get those over to Kubernetes and onto a service mesh. Now, in my full-time role at Layer 5, we end up creating plugins and integrations on top of Meshery. Today, we're talking about probably our flagship integration called MeshMap. It is a visual topology. It allows you to visually design your cloud-native apps, your Docker Compose apps, if you're using the extension we're going to talk about. And it does so in a GitOps-centric way. And for Maxi, he has a couple of other CNCF projects that he focuses on.
Yes, the SPIFFE project, the Secure Production Identity Framework for Everyone, defines a set of standards to securely identify issue identities for workloads. And the SPIFFE, the SPIRE project, which stands for the runtime environment for SPIFFE, it's a production-ready reference implementation of the SPIFFE principles. And additionally to all the SPIFFE standards, it implements a set of APIs that can be used for controlling attestation policies and coordinating certificates issuance and rotation. And as SPIFFE and SPIRE become popular, here at HPE, we have identified that a long-time standing request coming from the SPIRE community that they need an easy way to use SPIRE as an identity plane for Istio. So that's why we came up with HPE's codename Project Neutral, which is an internal effort at HPE and open source that enables the integration between SPIRE and Istio. Well, as we work on this integration, we need to ensure that the ongoing functional integration is solid. And as new Istio and SPIRE versions are released, we need to make sure that there's no performance degradation, for example. So HPE found in the Meshery extension for Docker Desktop a convenient tool that let our engineers to deploy the service mesh of their choice with a click of a button. And that allows us to quickly perform analysis and regression testing on these Istio and SPIRE integrations across different scenarios. But let me show you how this works. We have been really enjoying using Meshery as a Docker desktop extension, as you can quickly provision an Istio deployment with a click of a button. And if we go into Meshery's UI, we can see that it has detected my Docker desktop Kubernetes environment, and it has discovered the Istio deployment that I just provisioned. And I can even go further and customize my Istio deployment. For instance, I can enable automatic sidecar injection for a particular namespace. I can enable the add-ons I need as I go and do my performance testing. And I can even have the same Meshery instance connecting to multiple Kubernetes environments. So initially, we do a lot of functional testing inside of Docker Desktop. So here we can see some Grafana dashboards. We use Meshery to run performance analysis like the ones I have here to verify how well our solution performs with Spire integrated as a custom CA into Istio versus Istio's native solution. And as I run those tests, I am able to take a look at a given scenario. I can understand latencies, and I can even compare two different scenarios where I may have done different configurations. To further understand this, we have been using mesh map, where we can see different visual designs of my topology. In our particular case, we have been using Bookinfo as an application to qualify the behavior of this Spire integrated Istio deployments. And this has been very helpful as I'm able to version this and use it under different service mesh versions in order to qualify whether or not a particular configuration works and behaves as it should with a given Spire and Istio version. And I can also jump to the mesh map visualizer to better understand the particulars of a given deployment and how well it is performing. This gives you a good level overview, but I might be more interested in how well our solution is behaving with our sample application. So I might want to see the logs for a particular container. I can choose the pod and the container I want and look in the logs. For instance, I want to make sure that SDS is working as intended to, and I can look for anything on any container. I might also need an interactive session within some of these systems.
Wow, Maxi, that was really something. To think that entire time you didn't leave Docker Desktop. So these extensions can go pretty deep. As a matter of fact, the Meshery extension is available for everyone today. Maxi, it's been wonderful having you as an early adopter.